Welcome to Yeshiva Daf, your sponsor, Nishpan Sarab Yabashom Yabasitzchok. We're starting a new Masechta Sanhedrin, Masechta that's dealing with the dinim of the moment. As Tosfos says over here right away in the beginning of the Masechta, he says, after we learn the three bavs, all the dinim of dinim momentus, so now I'm going to explain to you how do I do this judgment, which we said, which is dinim momentus. Interesting discussion. They were showing what does the word Sanhedrin come from? A Sanhedrin, a foreign language, comes from Greek, that means Beis Din, or is because the Sanhedrin is a lashon of Somnui Betza, right? Or Somnui Doron. They don't want to take bribe. So Sanhedrin stands for. Another explanation is that we're showing the word Sanhedrin, where it comes from. So the Mishnah, Dinei Mominus Bishleisha. The dinim momentus are with three dayanim do the dinim momentus. Gzelos v'chabos v'lois b'shloisha. Gzelos v'chabos with three as well. The Gemara is going to ask right away, what is gzelos v'chabos? Gzelos is stealing. Chabos is someone who damaged somebody else. Isn't that dinim momentus? Nezek, the chatzi nezek, pay full nezek by a shor, or odom was mazik. Chatzi nezek shor tom. Teshlume carefully pay double when for knas for someone who steals. Teshlume above chamisha, someone who steals and shechs an animal or sells the animal, all that b'shloisha. Ha'oines ve'amefate ve'amutzishem b'shloisha. Oines, all this is to more Maseches Ksuvis. Someone who rapes, forces himself on a nairo, so he has to pay her and marry her. Mefate, seduced her, has to pay and marry her. And mutzishem is someone who married a woman and then claims that she is that she did have a sulim. And you have to go to Bezi for that. It's also B'shloish Divrei Ameir. There's two sides to this discussion. If the husband is right and she really was mezaneh, she has to be killed. So there is din nefashos here as well, and that's why you do the 23, even for the part of din momentus, as we'll see in the Gemara Be'ezer Hashem. Makos B'shloisha, Malchus gives the Rishon, Shu B'shloisha B'shloisha, because Malchus is really part of Misa. Ibur Chodesh B'shloisha, the Ibur Chodesh, which means you have to be me'ab with the Chodesh. B'says Rosh Hashanah, you have to have 3 dayanim. Ibur Shoyim B'shloisha, and also to do the add a month to the year. They were Amir. Shemul Yiloimer B'shloisha Matchilim, U'Bechamisha Noisim V'Noistim V'Goyim B'Shiva. You start with 3, then you continue with 5, then you end with 7. The Gemara can explain why. V'Goyim B'Gimel Me'uberes, but with the Evad Gimel works. And just to mention a very interesting discussion that Achronim discussed, when you have kfiyas Beis Din force someone to do a mitzvah. When someone doesn't want to do a mitzvah, so he forces it. Is that din of shloisha as well? The Tosfos at the end of the daf, the answer is yes. And the Yeshiva says no. And the shaila is really, it depends, what is the reason you have to koifet someone to do a mitzvah? Is that a din of Beis Din, the Beis Din of koifet? Or it's a din on an individual, every individual is forced to do it. Technically, what is going to do is Beis Din. But you don't have to have the shloisha to do it. Tzvichas kenim v'arifas eglo, right? This when the skein, when you find a mace, you have to have the skein putting the head on the egla rufo. You have to cut the egla rufo for finding a dead person that was killed. The shloisha, the Rebbe Shimon. Ridoyim v'chamish, you have to have 5. Hachalitza v'amiyunim, chalitza, the woman takes out the shoe in order not to marry the yavam, and miyunim, which is their abundant. Mother or brothers that married off a daughter who is less than 12 years old, she until the age of 12, because she say I'm not interested, and she does miyunim. And that has to be b'shloisha. Here you have a fascinating Rashi, because Rashi says that we do miyun called a tikkun rabbanon can deraisa tikkun, and if you have to have shloisha like you have by gitin. So Rashi here says that a get needs 3, and this is an Yehuda. Another Achronim discussed it. Sefer. The Yechura, do you need 3? Is it din Beis Din by Gittin, or Gittin is just to write a get and the husband divorces his wife? Do you need to have a Beis Din there or not? The Rebbe Yehuda brings a right from our Rashi that you do. Neta Revayi v'maisesheni shein domo v'yeduim, meaning to come and to figure out the value of the fruits. And when you want to come and redeem it, the Kedusha of Neta Revayi, the 4th year of Arlo, and maisesheni, that you have to do 4 out of the 6 years of Shemitah, B'shloisha, 3 people are going to come and value it. Ha'ikdeshus, the valuation of ikdeshus, b'shloisha, 3 people will do it. Ha'erchi na mitaltalim, when a person does erki and he wants to give a erech, but he's doing it on metaltalim down his body, the din is b'shloisha as well. One has to be a kohen. Karkois, how do the value a kohen? How do the value start? Karkois, a land for erkin, tisha a kohen. So 9 people, and in addition to the kohen, meaning a total of 10. The Odom Kayutzabehem, and Odom is also valued that way with 10 people. Ten Fashers, to kill a person who's Chayav Miso Be'esim Shlosh. Haruveh V'Nirbo Be'esim Shlosh. So what is Ruvev V'Nirbo? When an animal has a relationship with a person, either he's the boil or the nival. Shem Avahaktas Aisha V'Sabeimo V'Sabeimo Targoigo. So you have over here the psukim. Friday Shizum at the Beimo, and by when the Beimo is a boil, Beimo is nival. Shoraniskal be'esim v'shlosh. And they are also Shoraniskal 23. Shema shoy soker v'gam bol of humus. You compare the short to the bailim. Can be says bailim, can be says short. Compare one to each other. And the Mishnah goes on and says, Ze'ev ve'ari, hadoiv, hanomer, habardos, hanochosh. These 6 animals are dangerous animals. So Ze'ev is the wolf, and the Ari is a lion. Doiv is a bear, a nomer is a leopard. A bardalos is a discussion between Rashi and Tosfos what exactly it is, a type of animal. Hanochosh is a snake. Misoso be'esum v'shloisho. Then you have to also 23 to kill like a shor moon. No, there anybody who jumps to kill them because they're dangerous is zoich. 23, as we just said, we'll get back to that. Here we have a fascinating thing, and maybe we'll talk about the Shor Machshon of the Daf, is that the Ramban has a line saying that an animal is punished as well. There's a punishment for an animal. Even though she has no bchira, she gets punished. And we have rayas to that regarding the Ramabul, right? They get punished with them. There's some punishment to Beimo. And here in our Mishnah we see, because why would you have 23 for Beimo? Beimo is the moment of Adam. It's like it's like punishing it. Beimo has a punishment on her own. And that's why you need 23. Ein Dorim Lois HaShevet, Lois HaNovi HaSheker, a tribe, and who went over the Zorro, Novi HaSheker, Lois Kohen Gadol, Pi Beis, Shloshim Ve'echad, that's 71. Rashi says every Mechamas Rishus except the one in Kibush Haaretz, and that's a discussion on its own, what it stands to be Mechamas Mitzvah. LP Beis, Shloshim Ve'echad, that's 71. You can't add more to Shalayim to the Asoros. LP Beis, Shloshim Ve'echad, that's 71. You can't make a news as Sanhedrin for every Shevet, LP Beis, Shloshim Ve'echad. The city, to call the city already of the Zor to kill them, it is a base in Shim Echot. You don't say that a city in the border is considered to be Aridachas. You don't make 3 Aridachas. All this will be discussed in the Gemara. 21, 23. Seven is the king, Moshe, Shivim Echad. We don't count Moshe. The Ketana is 23. Shinema v'shavtu eidu v'itzu eido, eido shefetes, eido matzelas. Right? It says shavtu eidu, itzilu eido. When you have a judgment, so you have an eido who's judging, and eido who's saving. Judging means the chiyuv, saving is the schus. Reikin is stream. Why stream? Because the eido is 10. Speaks about the miracle. You have to Yeshiva Daf. You take a Yeshiva Daf, they're not the Eidora. So the Eidah is the miracle. Here, the Yerushalmi learns it from different pasuk regarding the Shvatim that they came b'Yisrei Chabayim. And the problem is why it says Yerushalmi, because here the Rishayim. But the reason our Mishnah brings this pasuk, for us to see from here that we're showing do true in the meaning. So I know 20, right? Because 10 Mechayim, it says 8 and 8, 10 Mechayim, 10 Mezakim, that's 20. It says don't go based on the majority Leroy's Shemani Shemim Letoivo, I should do go based on the majority Letoivo, Kilaman Emachi Rabin Latus. It says a Chirabin, even if they're raw. Like at Yascha Toiva, Yascha Ra. You tilt the Toiva and to Ra in different ways. Meaning, the Torah says that you don't go based on regular Roiv L'Ra. The Torah you do. But then you do go based on some Roiv L'Ra. So what is that? In addition to, in order to be Chav some Misa, you need to have a majority of at least 2 to say that it's Chav. So the Gemara learns from me like the following. Mishnah learns from me the following. You have 20, you have to add at least 2, so you have an Atiyah. Because you want to have 10 saying yes, 10 saying no, and then you have to have an Atiyah. You have to have at least 2 more, that brings you to 22. The Ein Beis in Shakul, but you can't have a Beis which is exactly even, because you need to have an odd number, so you'll be able to have a Roiv. That's how you get to 23. The Kami Yebe here to real Sanhedrin. How many people do you need to have in order to have a Sanhedrin of 23? May have asked you have 220 people. You can get you have 230 people, 23 people amazing. Every time has 10 people has a charge on. That's the minimum amount you see in the Torah. When Moshe Rabbeinu appointed Dayanim, the smallest Dayan took care of 10 people. Says the Gemara, we just said Dinim Omis, and he said stealing and Chabal. Isn't that Dinim Omis? What is Dinim Omis? It is there's a Chabal stealing and damaging. Aval Hidoros Halvos. So Hidoros means to admit. Halvos means to lend. Rashi says Hidoros here means the same thing. It means he brings up Pshat, maybe Hidoros means Moide b'Miktsas. But the Rashi is Deichet. There are 2 different ways to be Chai moment, to admit it or to actually see the Halvah. Look, that's not included. Vitzricha. The Tana Dinim Omis would say on Dinim Omis, I mean, I feel Hidoros Halvos, I would say Hidoros Halvos is included. Tana Gzeres Chabos, that's why I say Gzeres Chabos, tell you only Gzeres Chabos and not Hidoros Halvos. We'll see in a moment what is it. Tana Gzeres Chabos, like Tana Dinim Omis, how many who are deemed that feel Hidoros Halvos? Let's say Hidoros Halvos as well. By Tana Gzeres Chabos, we should be Ikar Gimel Dechtivi Big Gzeres Chabos Dechtivi. The 3 that I mentioned, in fact, you have to have 3. It is Gzeres Chabos. That's what's mentioned. So that's why I say Gzeres Chabos in the Mishnah, but not more. Right? That's where you see it. We'll see in a moment where is the Gzeres Chabos. Chabalos Mali Chabal Gufay Mali Chabal Amaynoi. So I learned from Nikra Balaisa Lakim the Chabot that you have by Gzelus, you have to have the Beis Din, and by when you get to Gzelus, Gzelus is a type of Chabal. Tani Ma'am Dinim Omis, Gzelus Chabal. That's why it says both. Gzelus Chabal says that's the Ikar, but you can learn from everything else. It says no, Dinim Omis is only Gzelus Chabal. So what does Chabal like? I don't know what's going to have Beis Din. Well, the Mai, you don't do it being Shloisho. We're talking there's no Shloisho. From our voice, time should do Dinim Omis to be very correct. Ain't Dinim Din. You need to have Shloisho even by this of us. Eladuloi Ba'inon Mumchim. You don't have to have. You don't have Mumchim. What do you have to have? Mumchim? You have 3 people, but it can be regular people. Says the Gemara, Makasova. What is the oath? Ikasova, your precious Kosukan. This is a Gemara Bobakana. Gemara Bobakana, we have a puzzle. This puzzle which is mentioned. Refers to a shomer. And it says there that you have to have Moedim and Miktsas. So the Gemara Bobakana brings 2 opinions. What is this pasuk doing over here? Is this pasuk referring to the shomer? Or there's a precious Kosukan. This pasuk belongs to a regular Gneva. And it's put it over here. Is it talking about a regular Gneva or is it talking about a shomer? Even though it's talking about the Parsha of a shomer, but maybe it's referring to something else in Parsha Mishpatim. So it says the Gemara, if you hold, the whole Parsha Mishpatim is mixed. In other words, the pasuk by shomer refers to Ganov, the by Nai Muchim, Yishmael and Mumchim, because it says El Eliki. There's no mixture over here. Shlosh Shalom, where do you know? You have to have 3, right? So how do you know that's what the Gemara is coming to? The question, what do you want to say? You need to have 3, but you don't have to have Mumchim. So the Gemara is bothered by, how do I know that you need to have 3, but you don't have to have Mumchim? What is the source for that? And the Gemara is going to learn from here. We're going to learn we're going to learn, the Gemara is going to continue, we'll continue this in the next daf. Now, we do have over here, the Tosfos discussed a little bit, how do we know that Hidyotis are excluded? So Mashra over here, the Gemara says Elokim is Mumkin, right? Because after it says, Elokim. And Tosfos brings a Shiloh that the Gemara in Gittin says, it is Lifneihem, V'lo Yaakov. So is it because of Leim or because of Elokim? Says Tosfos says Lifneihem Kaya Elokim. In other words, I should say Lifneihem that says over there the word Elokim. So Elokim tells you there needs to be Mumkin. Okay. Okay, let's stop over here. We'll continue from here in the next half.